Fables of La Fontaine. The merchant, the nobleman, the shepherd, and the king's son. A merchant, shepherd, lord, and a king's son, adventuring to a distant land, by waves and shipwrecks utterly undone, found themselves beggars on a foreign strand. It matters not to tell at large what chance had joined them in unequal fate. But one day, sitting on a fountain's marge, they counsel took disconsolate. The prince confessed, with many a bitter sigh, the ills that fall on those who sit on high. The shepherd thought it best to throw all thoughts of former ills afar. Laments, he said, no medicines are. So let us use the arts we know, and work and earn the means to take us back to Rome. But what is this? Can prudent language come from shepherd's mouth? And is it not then true that they alone are wise whose blood is blue? Surely sheep and shepherd are, as far as thought goes, on a par. However, wrecked on shores American, without a choice, the three approved this plan. The merchant cried that they should keep a school. Himself arithmetic would teach by rule, for monthly pay. And I, the prince exclaimed, will teach how proper laws for states are framed. The noble said, and I intend to try for pupils in the art of heraldry, as though such wretched stuff could have a home beyond the Atlantic wave. Then cried the shepherd, worth all praise are your intentions, but remark, the week has many days. Now, where a meal to seek, I am somewhat in the dark. Your prospects of success are good, but I am pining now for food. Tell me, therefore, comrades, pray, whence comes tomorrow's meal, and whence the meal today? You seem in your resources rich, but food today's a subject which so presses that I really must decline to put in you my trust. This said, the shepherd in a neighboring wood collected faggots, which he sold for food, and shared it kindly with his clever friends before their talents had attained their ends. Or by long fasting they were forced to go and air their talents in the world below. From this adventure we, I think, may learn that for life's daily needs much learning is not wanted, but that to every man the power to earn food by his labor has been freely granted. Well, there you have it. So what's all this about? Well, these four, merchant, nobleman, shepherd, and prince, shipwrecked on a deserted island, and they decide that they're going to use their talents to try to get them back to Rome. So the prince starts complaining about all the difficulties it is being a prince. And the shepherd basically says, look, you're not a prince here. Here we are, No sense lamenting about how tough your situation is. That's not going to solve the problem. So we got to do something. So basically, the merchant says, well, I'll teach math. And the prince says, well, I'll teach how to formulate laws. And the nobleman says, oh, well, I'll teach heraldry, how to draw your family crest and things like that. And the shepherd basically says, look, you cosmopolitan people, These talents might be wonderful in a city setting, but here on a desert island, I'm not going to waste my time because right now we need food for today, we need food for tomorrow, and we're going to need food every day till we get out of here. So basically, they say, how can a shepherd be wise? The prince is obviously the wisest. He has blue blood in his veins. And shepherds are basically just as smart as sheep, which means not very smart at all. So while these guys are talking about teaching math and heraldry and how to formulate laws, the shepherd goes into the woods, starts collecting firewood, and he sells it to these guys, and then he goes and gets food. I guess, I don't know how he buys food on a desert island, but that's what he does. So basically, you know, it's great if you have these luxurious skills that can pay your bills when you live in a city, these very specialized skills. But when you're on a desert island, you need to know how to survive. You need to know basic stuff, how to get your daily food, how to get your shelter, how to build a fire. You know, the factors: food, agriculture, clothing, transportation, occupation, resources. So, you don't need a lot of formal education to learn this stuff, but this is the stuff that is fundamental for survival. And this applies in life. Yes, it's wonderful to have a great education and be able to make a wonderful living when you're living in society, when you're living in a city, and hope that things are always going to be good for you. But if disaster strikes, you should have some practical talents as well. That's one of the reasons you keep your body strong and healthy and in shape. One day you might need it. Learn basic skills. If you need to know how to hunt and gather food and what's edible and what's not edible, how to find clean, fresh water, how to build a fire, how to keep yourself dry, how to set up a camp, these sort of life skills. It's one of the benefits. Back in the day, if you joined the Cub Scouts, you'd learn all these skills. If you joined the Army, you'd learn all these skills. You should learn these things. Learn to stay in shape. Learn how to shoot. Learn how to purify water. Have a bug out kit. Have a camping kit. Learn to camp. Learn to live off the land. Learn what edible plants are in the environment. Just in case. Hopefully you never need to use these skills, but better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. Of these four people, the only one who really lives out in the wilderness is the shepherd, who takes his flock and lives among them and learns how to keep the wolves away and learns how to find fresh water and build a fire and things like that. You take somebody who doesn't have these skills and you put them down in a survival type situation, they're not going to fare too well. Particularly if they're not healthy, if they're not fit, things like that. So basically, it's always good. My friend's father always told him, look, your education's great, but you should find a trade. Learn to change your own tires. Learn to change your own oil if necessary. Learn some home repairs. These sorts of things, very important. Take care of yourself. Things like this. And on top of that, get a very good specialized education, make a lot of money, wonderful. Learn some talents, learn some abilities, develop your skills. Anyway, if you had anything to add or comment on down below, please. Till next time, goodbye.